Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, August 27th, and we are looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. And boy, oh boy, some huge rotations today as the market hits an all-time high on a gap. We gapped higher for the fourth time in a row this week. Very, very unusual. We have value higher 4 times in a row. We're one time framing up in every aspect of this market, monthly, weekly, daily. Is it getting stretched out? Is it getting tired? I believe so. Still not going to stand in its way, but I do think at some point we need to trade sideways. I had a very good day, and to explain my trades, any short trade I took today was the 350 puts that expire September 14th. I've been playing those. I wanted to establish a small, if we went up and kept going, I was going to keep a position. If it came in, I would take it off. I did that all day. I did go home with some, not a lot, but I did go home with some. And actually, as we're rallying now, I just bought some more of them as we rallied back up, because I think what I'm looking for tomorrow, do I think we gap higher 5 days in a row? I doubt it, but I actually hope we do, because I don't have a big position at all, and I'd love to increase it. That's number one. Number two, I think we have pretty good odds of trading in this huge 2-day balance today and yesterday's, right? I think there's a good chance we might finally get some consolidation between these 2 days during tomorrow's trading. Can I be wrong? Of course I can. But again, my position's so small, I don't mind, and it's 2 weeks out. I hope it does go higher, because the higher we go, the more and more you just continually get stretched out. I'm not bearish on this market. I'm realistic about this market. You don't want to stand in its way, and I don't. But I also think at some point it should trade sideways. So I'm not going to give you all the shorts I took, because plain and simple, every time we went up, in A, C, D, I bought 350 puts, and not a lot. We're talking anywhere between 2, 3, 5, 10, and every time they came in, I took them off, went back up, put them back on. Did that all day long. If I did it with 50 contracts, I would have probably been able to retire. But there's no way I'm going to do that, because I'm looking basically to build a position if we go higher, and I'm not 100% sure where the high is, right? I'm not trying to pick a high. That's why I'm not buying 50 or 100 contracts. Believe me, I'm tempted to, just to see this thing go sideways for a day or two or a week. But I'm not going to do that yet. We'll see tomorrow what happens. But I had a very good day doing that. So the longs I took also did very well, and I took them first. Let me look where they were. Now, all the longs I took were, I did one 348 call, the rest were 347 calls. So in I period, right? I'm trying to think. I apologize. F period was 348 calls, right? I'm trying to think here. F, because I know I went against, yes. So I bought calls in F period, scalped them, the 348s. Twice I did that. Before. Did a value low a couple of times around the opening. Then we ripped down, right? I did nothing in G. All right, now I was still short. I was actually short the 350 puts from September 14th, from all the way up here, from F period. Wrote them all the way down, so I'd taken some off. I actually even kept some. I wanted to keep some. But then we had single prints. And clear as day, I told the room, look, I'm not going to try to catch a falling knife in G period and go long. I was tempted if we got around L's low and these singles in G. Then I would have done that to see if we get initial reaction up. But it never got there. I didn't do it. I said, if H does not take out G's low, what always happens? Not always. Scratch that. What are good odds? The odds that we fill the single prints. So H opens, pops up right away with, pops down right away on poor structure. Immediately got long, went up, filled the structure, got out. Came back in, took that long again. These were 347 calls. Now, I did tell the room, if we take out G's low, I'm out. Didn't take it out. Held on to them, went up, filled the single prints, got out there. And then in I period, same thing. At the time, Now, again, I'm in 3-tick increments, but value, which ended higher on the day, did go to overlap into higher at one point in GH and I. We got to value low. I said, this is a beautiful trade here because I have value low to lean on and A's low. Never got below it. It did that a couple of times, added to it a couple of times. Twice I had 50 lot call positions of the 347s, and they all worked out. So those are all the call plays. My call plays took place in F, H, and I. The puts were all throughout the day. I'm not going to even give you all of them that I took because they were a lot, adding on and taking off of those puts. So it was a rotational day. The rotations were very large. And I tried to emphasize that to my room. Be careful because we had a big initial balance, and it was fairly big. And then once C, D, and E stretched, once these rotations started, they got moving, right? So when we finally came down, it became a snowball going down. And I'm like, don't try to get long here. You know, I did it in F twice. I didn't do it up here, and they both worked out. But then once G started going, I'm like, nope, there's no more afternoon pullback. I'm just waiting to see what they want to do. So I was very patient, and that paid off. So, again, the POC was lowered. Then it was raised twice. It was all over the place. So, interesting day. As far as destinations, upside will be 10 wide at 348.88. Becomes an upside destination. And then 349.90, which is today's high and all-time high. It'll be interesting now if we don't make a new all-time high in the overnight in the triple Qs and the SPYs. So it'll be interesting to see if that holds. For the downside, we have today's low of 346.53, and then all those single prints that I gave you. I know I didn't give them to you this morning, but if you don't have them, watch last night's video. I give all the destinations to the downside. Now, let's go to the charts. Okay. Just going to show you the weekly and the daily. Right? Monthly is great. One time framing up 4 months. Above February's high by $10. Very healthy. So is the weekly. But I do think at some point, right? At some point you got to balance. That's all I'm looking for. Right? Look at the weekly from March. We went bull, balanced, right? Even came down. Never went bear, really, just balanced. But since this 5-week or 6-week time frame, right? Remember that 6 weeks? We had a lot of trouble. Since then, we've been one time framing up 8 weeks. There has been no balance whatsoever, really. I mean, we did balance here a little bit. I shouldn't say that. We did, after the first 3 weeks, we did balance. But the last 5 weeks now, we've done nothing but go straight up. At some point, yes, we're getting distance away from previous highs, and that is healthy. But at some point, the gaps become poor structure. At some point, the more you keep, it's great to get distance away from prior highs, no doubt. That means the trend is younger, but at some point, you get stretched out. So that's all I'm looking for within the next 2 weeks possibly is to get some kind of balance. That's the only reason I've been taking that trade. And again, it's very small. That trade paid me over tenfold today. Forget about the position I went home with. Just with trading it paid me off tremendously trading that today. And then in the daily, one time framing up 5 days. Very healthy. Gap below is my focus, right? You know, if we ever take out today's low, what I'm looking for maybe tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, certainly by Monday, is to come into balance between yesterday's low and today and just trade sideways to maybe down a little bit within those 2 days, maybe within these 4 days to start shaking out week longs and then see after balance. Well, do we come out of that balance to the downside and fill this gap and get accepted into here? Or if we trade in a 2 or 4 day balance to now, we trade sideways and pop higher with more renewed energy and less weak longs in the market. That's the key. Again, you get this all day in CamelbackTrading.org's trading room. Come check us out. There's really, really nothing for you to lose. I hope you had a great day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.